people of Kaduna State and indeed Nigeria to know that contrary to the public announcements and apparent good intentions, this policy was conceived and sold to the president by officials who completely lost out in the gubernatorial and presidential primaries of the APC in June 2022. Once Asiwaju Bola Tinubu emerged as the candidate in June 2022 and subsequently did not pick one of them as his running mate, this currency redesign policy was conceived to ensure that the APC presidential candidate is deprived of what they allege is a humongous war chest. They also sought to achieve any one or more of the following objectives. Number one, to create a nationwide shortage of cash so that citizens are incited to vote against APC candidates across the board, resulting in massive losses for the party in all the elections. Number two, ensure that the cash crunch is so serious, along with the contrived and enduring fuel shortage existing since September 2022, that the 2023 elections do not hold at all, leading to an interim national government to be led by a retired army general. And number three, sustain the climate of shortage of fuel, food and other necessities leading to mass protests, violence and breakdown of law and order that will provide a fertile foundation for a military takeover. In the pursuit of these objectives, the Central Bank of Nigeria and these other disgruntled federal officials have so far convinced the president that it is fine for ordinary citizens to be dispossessed of their hard-earned money.
That is Malam Nasir El-Rufai, the governor of Kaduna State, in a state broadcast to the people of Kaduna State and indeed to Nigerians. He made that broadcast a few days to the 2023 general election, before the presidential election. And if you listen carefully, you will see that he was complaining bitterly about the cash crunch and the fuel scarcity that enveloped the country before the election. And if you listen carefully to him, he said so many things in a few compressed minutes, because this is just an edited version of the whole broadcast he made to the people of Kaduna State. And he did say one important takeaway. He did reveal the source of the interim government issue that is now being discussed. Okay? And look at what he said. He said that the Naira redesign policy was conceived and sold to the president by the officials who completely lost out in the gubernatorial and presidential primaries of the ruling All Progressive Congress in June 2022. But now you see how they are painting the issue of interim government, trying to force it down as if it is an issue that originated from Labour Party or from People's Democratic Party, for that matter. He said that once Bola Tinubu emerged as the candidate of the party, and he didn't choose any of them. He didn't choose any of those, some people, perhaps those in the villa or whatever, but they belong to APC. When they didn't get the nomination as running mate to Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, that they now conceived the redesign policy to ensure that APC presidential candidate, as well Bola Tinubu, is deprived of what they considered as humongous war chest. So you can see that the interim government was an idea of the APC people in the presidential villa of all places, based on what El-Rufai is talking about. Now let us go look into his speech very well. He said they also sought to achieve any one of the following objectives. These are the objectives that he said that those people are the villa, because he said that they are the villa. They are the villa. Those are because those who can do this have access to the villa. They are close to the presidency. That is where they hatch the plot. Now look at what of the things he said. He said they also sought to achieve any one or more of the following objectives. Number one, to create a nationwide shortage of cash so that citizens are incited to vote against APC candidates across board. Okay? Across board, resulting in massive losses for the party in all elections. Then number two, which is the real gist, the real reason why I have to edit this video and I wanted you to see it. He said, number two is to ensure that the cash crunch is so serious, along with the contrived and enduring and along with the contrived and the fuel shortages that have been existing since September 2022, so that the 2023 election do not hold at all. So what he's saying that in this number two aspect, he was talking about that the people who lost out in the APC governorship and presidential primaries, they contrived the Naira redesign policy to create cash crunch so that it will be so serious, along with fuel shortages, so that the 2023 presidential general election do not hold at all, leading to an interim government to be led by a retired army general. Now you can see that the interim government idea originated from the APC. El-Rufai is telling us those sections of the APC that contrived it, that conceived it. Okay? In other words, if they try to stop the election, get my drift, if they try to stop the election so that they can install interim government and they are APC member, now that APC has won, is it not logical that they are the ones that will try to stop the inauguration, try to do everything possible since they are closer to power? In any case, only government in power can install an interim government. Even though right now they are claiming that some people are trying to sponsor mass protests, leading to looking to break down of law and order, to lead to an emergence of an interim government. But an interim government cannot emerge unless the government in power allows it. So is it not logical that the people that El-Rufai identified that wanted to stop the election from holding, now that they couldn't stop the election from holding, and the only thing left is the inauguration, that they are the ones behind the so-called agitation for interim government? Is it not logical? And El-Rufai has already given us a lead. So why the security agency is not following the lead that El-Rufai had given them? on the sources of interim government, agitation, and plot. And then he said number three. El-Rufai said that, and number three, one of their plots is to sustain the climate of shortage of fuel, food, and other essential commodities, leading to a mass protest. They say that leading to a mass protest and violence and breakdown of law and order that will provide a fertile ground or fertile foundation, as he put it, for a military takeover. Now, El-Rufai has given a lead on those behind the interim government that is a problem now being discussed in Nigeria, for which a lot of people now are being accused of incitement, accused of treason. Now El-Rufai has provided this. Perhaps the authorities are unaware of it. Let them go and watch the state broadcast that El-Rufai made before the election to the people of Kaduna State, and indeed Nigerians, as he rightly put it. He identified the source, said those who lost out after the June primaries, gubernatorial and presidential primaries, and those people have the ears of the president. They have the ears of our of the central bank. So these people are so powerful. They are close to the corridors of power. Now, which now bring to the question, why are they then desperate? Why are they desperate to rope Peter Obi in, that he is sponsoring or encouraging the emergence of interim government? Both Peter Obi and his running mate has never said that. They have never called for an interim government. They have never even called for a military takeover. But already El-Rufai has given a clue on those who want to destabilize our democracy, that they are in the APC and they have the ears of the presidency for El-Rufai to believe that they could be listened to, that they are a threat to the election. So if they are a threat to the election, somehow Nigerians overpowered them and the election held. Is it not logical that they will go to they will activate the last plot to ensure that the democracy, the person that was announced as president-elect, his inauguration is thwarted? So why are they doing everything possible to rope Peter Obi in this issue of interim government? Why did I say this? The media aide of Peter Obi, Valentine Obianyem, he has made a post where he said that they are now monitoring, they are reviewing all the calls that Peter Obi has made in the last 3 years to see whether he had ever mentioned the word interim government in his conversation with people on phone, so that they could use it against him, that he was or that he is the one instigating the idea of interim government. Why are they searching, beating about the bush, when El-Rufai has already provided to them the link between people involved in the interim government idea, that they are within the APC and that they are within the presidency circle? Because only they could have the ear of the president. Only they could be able to be in a vintage position that vintage position that this El-Rufai will be afraid that they could implement those policies. Okay? So it is therefore important that people should know that the problem we are having about the interim government and the idea that the democracy could be derailed is actually from the APC themselves. It has nothing to do with the opposition. It has nothing to do with Peter Obi. It has nothing to do with the People's Democratic Party. This is an idea that has emanated from the it's an idea that has emanated from the APC themselves. They were the one that brought up the idea of interim government. They are the ones that brought up the idea of military takeover. Because if you listen to the speech by El-Rufai, he is talking about uh, that the step three of the plot of these people, these anti-democratic people, was to create an atmosphere for a military takeover if the first two processes they want did not happen. Now that the election has taken place, now that there's a president-elect, those who are aggrieved have gone to court. They didn't call for an interim government. So if they are looking for those who want to have an interim government and thus stop the inauguration of Bola Tinubu, they should go and talk to El-Rufai to give them information about those disgruntled elements in the APC that lost out in the primaries, governorship and presidential primaries of the APC, and stop harassing Peter Obi and laying unnecessary allegations and accusations against him that they are sponsoring, so they are inciting people, trying to create problem, supporting interim government to the level of even allegedly monitoring, assessing his scores in the past 3 years to see whether he has said anything about interim government. It doesn't really make sense. If they want to find out the root of this so-called call for interim government, they should go and find out from El-Rufai, who has more intelligence on the existence of those who wanted an interim government in this country. That's my understanding of it. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you will be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.